I'm Heidi Swapp with Scrapbook.com, and I'm here to share with you a little stamping secret, a little known inking fact. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought that everybody knew this. But as I've been teaching classes and watching people stamp, I'm finding that people don't know. And so you might be in the dark. So here we go. If you love acrylic stamps, like I love acrylic stamps, and stamping is hard when you can't see through it, and being able to see through it makes all the difference in the world. But acrylic stamps are made from a non-porous material, which means that when you're using a water-based ink, the ink does not stick to the stamp, and so consequently when you stamp it, you get a very imperfect image. And that drives me crazy. So you just kind of have to know the difference and pick the right inks for the right stamps. So let me just show you what happens when you use a water-based stamp versus a solvent-based stamp for stamping with acrylic stamps. Now, acrylic stamps, you've probably used them before, super easy to use. You just peel them off of their sheet and stick them right onto an acrylic block. Position it as you would like to. And I'm going to show you what happens when you use the distress ink, which is a water-based ink, with the acrylic stamp. Now this is a nice new fresh pad, and I'm going to tap it onto the pad, and you're going to be able to see how the ink, already you're seeing that the ink is kind of balling up there on the stamp. So when I press it down, you're going to notice that we get a very imperfect, kind of blurry image, really. Now, let me show you what happens when I switch and use a solvent-based ink pad. This is a StazOn ink pad. There are other solvent-based ink pads out as well. Solvent-based means that it will stamp onto any surface, porous, non-porous, whatever. Now you can see how evenly the black ink goes onto that stamp, so you know that you're going to get a great image transfer. And there you go. Now you can see that the ink has held onto my stamp image, and I've gotten a nice, perfect stamp every time. So it's just important to know what kind of ink you're using with what kind of stamps. Now, if you start to notice that your images aren't coming out as crisp and clear as you'd like them, your ink may be running out of ink. And all you have to do is purchase some re-inking bottles. And Ranger ink has them. The Distress ink comes in a dropper. This little StazOn comes in like an eyedropper thing, and you're just going to drop a few drops right onto the ink pad and allow it to dissipate. But you know, what I'm noticing is a lot of people are accepting really not great stamping images because they just gradually, their stamp pads start to run out of ink. So it's really great. Your stamps are only as good as your ink pads. So really take care of them. Keep them nice and full of ink, and keep them closed when you're using them, and get as much life as you can out of them.